You know, it's kind of crazy how much AI is just woven into our lives now, right? Like it's everywhere. But one of the coolest things, I think, is how it can actually help you become a better writer in English.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable if you
Yeah.
think about it. It's like we've gone from these, like, those massive grammar textbooks
Oh, yeah.
to having these AI tools that are like right there with you, like guiding you as you write.
It's like instant feedback. And that's exactly what we're going to be looking at today in this deep dive. We really want to help you guys figure out how to use these tools to just write better English no matter what you're working on.
Yeah, exactly. Because it really doesn't matter what you're writing these days, whether it's like an important email or like a big paper for school,
Oh, yeah.
even a blog post or just a text message. I mean, AI can actually make a really big difference.
So let's get right to it. What we want to do today is first just lay out all the different kinds of AI writing tools that are out there. And then we're going to dig into the best ways to use them so you can just write with more confidence and, sound really good doing it.
Sounds good.
Okay, so first things first. When we say AI writing tools, what exactly are we talking about?
Well, you can think of them as like special programs or apps that have learned how to understand and even write human language. And they do this using some really advanced stuff like machine learning and natural language processing.
Sounds really complicated.
It is, but the basic idea is kind of like you're feeding a computer this huge library of English text. Like imagine just tons and tons of books and articles,
Right.
and then you're teaching it to recognize the patterns in the language, like how words are used, how sentences are structured, all that good stuff.
So it's not magic. It's just a really smart system that's learned how to use English in a sophisticated way.
Exactly. And the cool part is what these tools can actually do for you when you're writing. Like, they can catch those little grammar mistakes and spelling errors that we all make.
Oh, for sure. But do they do more than just that?
Way more. They can suggest better words, help you sound more professional or casual depending on what you're writing.
Oh, that's useful.
And even help you rephrase entire sentences to make your ideas clearer and stronger.
Wow. So it's like having an editor built right into your computer.
Pretty much. And there are tons of these tools out there. But some of the most popular ones and ones that we think are super helpful for learning English are Grammarly ChatGPT Quillbot.
Wait, those names sound familiar.
Yeah, you probably heard of them.
Oh.
And then there's also the Hemingway Editor and Language Tool. These are all really great for different reasons.
Okay, so we've got like a whole toolbox here.
Yeah.
But before we get into specifics, I think it's important to remember what our sources keep saying about these AI assistants. They're not meant to replace you as a writer.
Absolutely not. They're meant to help you improve your skills, not just do the writing for you.
Yeah.
Like, they're kind of like training wheels on a bike.
I like that analogy.
They help you get started and build confidence, but eventually you want to be able to ride on your own.
Right. Makes sense. Okay, so let's get into some practical tips. Where would you say is a good place for someone to start if they want to use AI to improve their English writing?
Well, I think a really easy and really helpful place to start is with grammar and spelling correction.
Okay, that makes sense. Everyone can use a little help with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like a low-pressure way to start seeing the benefits right away. So let's take Grammarly as an example. It's super popular and for good reason. It's like having this digital English teacher looking over your shoulder as you write.
Like in a good way, though, right? Not a scary teacher.
Yeah, definitely in a good way. More like a helpful friend. And Grammarly is really good at catching all kinds of errors.
Like what kinds of things?
Well, it'll flag things like, obvious grammar mistakes, missing commas. But it'll also point out things like maybe you're using the wrong word or your sentences are too long and complicated.
It helps you with clarity, too.
Exactly. And the really cool thing about Grammarly is it doesn't just tell you you're wrong. It explains why something is incorrect. And it gives you suggestions for how to fix it.
Oh, so you can actually learn from it.
Yes, that's the key.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets really important for you as the writer. You have to actually engage with that feedback. Like, don't just click accept all and move on.
Right. You have to understand why the changes are being made.
Exactly. So take the time to read the explanations,
Mm-hmm.
try to understand the rule, and then rewrite the sentence yourself using what you've learned.
Okay, so it's not just about getting rid of the red squiggly lines. It's about using those suggestions to actually improve your writing.
Exactly. And you can use Grammarly for all sorts of things. Emails, school assignments, even resumes and LinkedIn posts. Really anything where you want to make sure your English is clear and correct.
I can see how that would be super helpful for anyone learning English as a second language.
Definitely. Because it gives you that instant feedback. So you're constantly getting that reinforcement and learning those correct patterns as you write.
Okay, so we've talked about grammar and spelling. What about vocabulary? How can AI help you learn new words and sound more sophisticated in your writing?
That's another area where AI can really help. Think about it. We all have those moments where we feel like we're using the same words over and over again.
Hmm.
Like, how many times have you written, I am very happy?
Oh, countless times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there are so many other ways to express that same idea. And AI can help you find those more interesting and impactful ways to say things.
Give me an example.
Okay, so let's say you type, I am very happy, into a tool like Quillbot or ChatGPT, and you ask it to rephrase it.
Okay.
You might get suggestions like, I'm absolutely delighted, or I couldn't be more thrilled.
Oh, wow, this sounds so much better.
Right. And by just seeing those different options, you're starting to expand your vocabulary.
So I'm seeing synonyms,
Yeah.
but also like different levels of intensity.
Exactly. You're seeing how you can express the same emotion in a stronger way or a more formal way.
Okay, so it's not just about learning new words, it's about learning how to use them in different contexts.
Yes. And that's how you start to develop a more nuanced and sophisticated writing style.
And the more you do that, the more naturally those richer expressions will come to you when you're writing.
Exactly. It's like you're training your brain to think in more complex and interesting English.
Now, I want to talk about something that I think is super exciting. Using ChatGPT for writing prompts and feedback. I mean, this is like having a personal writing coach right at your fingertips.
It really is. And it's a really fun and interactive way to improve your writing. So here's how it works. You start by asking ChatGPT for a writing prompt.
Like what kind of prompt?
It could be anything. Like, let's say you're interested in travel. You could say, give me an interesting writing prompt about travel that's good for someone learning English.
Okay.
And ChatGPT will come up with a topic for you to write about. It could be something like, describe a memorable travel experience, or discuss the impact of tourism on a local community.
Okay, I see. So then you write something based on that prompt.
Right. And then, this is the really cool part. You take what you wrote and you paste it back into ChatGPT. And you can ask it something like, can you correct this for me and give me some suggestions for how to improve it?
So you're getting direct feedback on your writing.
Exactly. And ChatGPT will give you corrections, suggestions for better phrasing, and even explanations for why it's making those changes.
Wow, that's like instant personalized feedback.
It is, and you can even ask follow-up questions. Like you could ask about the formality of your writing or if there are any stronger words you could use.
So you can really have this back and forth conversation with it.
Exactly. It's like having a writing tutor available 24/7.
Okay, so we've talked about grammar, vocabulary feedback. But good writing isn't just about individual sentences, right? It's also about how you structure your ideas and make your writing flow smoothly.
You're absolutely right. And AI can actually help you with that too, especially tools like ChatGPT.
Really? How does that work?
Well, think about what makes a piece of writing well-structured. You need a clear beginning.
An introduction.
Yeah. You need smooth transitions between your ideas. And you need a logical conclusion. All those things are really important for keeping your reader engaged.
Makes sense. But how can AI help you learn those things?
Well, one way is to ask ChatGPT to create an outline for you. Like, let's say you're writing about the benefits of reading books.
Oh, okay.
You could ask ChatGPT to make an outline for that topic. And it'll show you how to organize your ideas in a logical way, with main points and subpoints and all that.
Oh, so you can see an example of good structure.
Right. And you can even ask it to write a sample introduction for you. So you can see how to start your piece in a way that grabs the reader's attention.
That's really helpful. What about transitions? Those can be tricky.
Yeah. But you can actually ask ChatGPT to show you how to use transition words and phrases effectively.
Right.
Like you could give it two contrasting ideas and say, show me how to connect these smoothly.
Okay.
And it'll give you examples using words like however, or on the other hand, or in addition. So you can see how those words help to bridge your ideas together.
That's a lot more helpful than just memorizing a list of transition words.
Definitely. And another thing you can do is take a piece of writing that you think is well structured,
Oh.
like maybe an essay or an article,
Right.
and you could paste it into ChatGPT and ask it to identify the transitions and explain how they work. So you're basically learning from good examples.
That's a great idea. Okay, so we've covered a lot, but there's one more thing I want to talk about. Editing and proofreading.
Ah, yes, the final steps.
It can feel like a chore sometimes, but it's so important for making your writing really polished and professional.
It's true. And AI can make that process a lot easier and more efficient. One really helpful exercise is to write a short paragraph and then run it through an AI editor like Grammarly or the Hemingway editor.
And then see what it catches.
Yeah. But the important thing is to not just blindly accept all the changes. You want to compare your original version with the edited version and really try to understand why the tool made those suggestions.
So you're actively learning from the feedback.
Exactly. And then once you understand the suggestions, you can rewrite the paragraph yourself, incorporating what you've learned.
So again, it's about engaging with the process and not just letting the AI do all the work for you.
Exactly. Because the goal is to train your own eye, to spot those errors, and to develop a better understanding of what makes good writing good.
Now let's talk about how you can apply all of this to real-life situations. I mean, we write all the time in our daily lives, right? It's not just about school assignments and stuff like that.
Totally. And AI can actually help you practice for all those different writing scenarios. Like take emails, for example. You could ask ChatGPT to help you write a professional email for a job application or a thank you note after an interview.
Oh, that's so useful.
It is. And it can help you make sure you're using the right tone and level of formality, which can be tricky, especially in professional settings.
What other real-world writing tasks can AI help with?
Well, if you have to write reports for school or work, AI can help you organize your ideas and structure your document. If you're active on social media, it can help you write clear and engaging captions. And if you're applying for jobs, it can help you polish your cover letter and make sure it's tailored to the specific role you're applying for.
Wow. So you can really use AI to practice for pretty much any type of writing you need to do in your life.
Pretty much. And the cool thing is you're seeing how AI would approach these real-world tasks. So you're learning from examples that are relevant to your own life.
This has been so helpful. But before we wrap up, I think it's important to talk about how to use AI responsibly, because these tools are powerful, but we want to make sure we're using them in a way that actually helps us improve our writing in the long run.
I completely agree. So let's talk about some do's and don'ts for using AI wisely.
Okay, let's start with the do's. What are some things we should definitely be doing when we're using AI for writing?
First, always try to understand why the AI is making a certain suggestion. Don't just blindly accept it. Ask for explanations, ask for examples.
So really engage with the feedback.
Yes. And then once you understand the feedback, make sure you're actually rewriting your work based on what you've learned.
So don't just copy and paste from the AI.
Exactly. You want to be actively involved in the writing process.
Makes sense. Okay, now what about the don'ts? What should we avoid doing?
Well, the biggest don't is to never just copy and paste AI-generated text without really understanding it. Because remember, the goal is to develop your own writing skills.
Right, so don't let the AI do all the thinking for you.
Exactly. And don't become so reliant on AI that you never practice writing on your own. Because that's how you really build confidence and fluency.
So it's all about finding that balance. Using AI as a tool to support your learning, but not as a crutch.
Exactly.
Okay, so to sum up, it sounds like AI writing tools can be incredibly helpful for anyone who wants to improve their English writing.
Absolutely.
They can help you write more confidently, learn grammar and vocabulary more effectively, and even make the writing process more fun and engaging.
And the tools we talked about today, like ChatGPT, Grammarly, Quillbot, they're all great resources that can really act as your personal writing coaches.
So to all of you listening out there, I encourage you to try out these tools and see how they can help you on your writing journey.
Use them wisely.
Yeah.
Use them consistently, and most importantly, use them actively to really learn and grow as a writer.
And on that note, think about this. As these AI language tools keep getting better and better, how do you think they'll change not just the way we write, but maybe even the way we think and communicate in the future? It's a pretty interesting thing to think about as you continue to develop your own language skills. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks, everyone.